Since time immemorial, humans have waged war. Some scholars believe these wars are started over limited resources, religions, or possibly the rule of threes. Two comics from Houston, Texas believe that all strife comes from one group of people looking at another group of people and thinking, that group's hats are silly, and I hate them. Welcome to Silly Hats, a history podcast, with your hosts Will Loden and Nick Palermo.
Welcome to Silly Hats. We're your hosts. That's Will Loden.
Over there's Nick Palermo. And we have a theory, don't we, Nick?
We do. We have a theory. It's that every human conflict in history of humanity boils down to one group of people looking at another group of people and being like, your hats are stupid. We should have all of your things.
We should take your shit.
Yes, and we prove it.
Every single week.
With this podcast.
Even if there isn't a lot of writing about the peoples. So this is a fun thing about what we're talking about this week. We're going to be talking about the Incan Empire versus the Spanish conquistadors.
Okay, that's the conflict of the week?
That's the conflict of the week. It's going to be really, really fun because what we don't, all we know is from one side of the thing. So, you know, and that's always my favorite things about, you know, like, even in smaller conflicts, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're just talking to a friend and they're talking about their ex-girlfriend, you're like, you know, she's just the craziest bitch ever. And like everything that happened just fell out of the sky.
Like, well, I only got this one drunk's opinion. I don't know if this is fully accurate.
Right. But well, we have a couple of different opinions. We have Francisco Pizarro, the leader of the Spanish, who came over, and he was friends with he was actually cousins with the guy who conquered Mexico and conquered the Aztec Empire. Yeah, and so they were like basically like, hey cuz, how you been? Oh, you're not gonna believe this.
What's that word where you hire your relatives?
Oh, nepotism.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Even in war and conquering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he was sitting there at Thanksgiving, and he was like, so what have you been doing? I actually took a boat.
What'd you take?
Yeah, exactly. Filled up so much gold.
Just sharing their spoils.
Yeah. Now, see, what you're going to want to do is go a little further south.
Now, when my uncle conquered this.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, here's the thing about the Incan Empire. We just
the Incan Empire. The only thing I don't know anything except things I learned in like early history, which is all wrong. It was all fanciful. Like, I'm just picturing like every like happy stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Super happy.
First Thanksgiving, you know, just like nonsense that that's the only things I know about the Incas.
And it's so much
sweet arrows.
Yeah. Well, they were called Adelies, which it was like this weird javelin thing that it was like a mix between like a javelin and a slingshot that they would throw at people.
That's advanced. It's more advanced than the javelin.
Crazy advanced. So a lot of their things were actually crazy advanced. However, they were going up against steel armor.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, you can flick a stick as fast as you can,
but yeah, like, smelting is really important to protection. Like, yeah. So basically, here's
you tell me fire melts steel.
Gotta aim real tight. And
you heard of blacksmithing?
Yeah, they hadn't. They were still using copper and stuff. They had these crazy long roads. So the Incan Empire was like, I think it says, I have it written down as like at its height, it was like 4,000 kilometers, which is like 2,500 miles. I had to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that sounds. Name-wise, the Incan Empire is way cooler.
Yes.
Spanish conquistadors. It sounds like a play troupe,
right.
You know?
That sounds like the worst improv.
Yeah.
We're the Spanish conquistadors.
We'll be at the Chuckle Hut all weekend. Exactly. I mean on Sunday.
Yeah, except for Sunday. Yeah.
Only Sunday. It's a 5 p.m. show.
Right. Yeah, we'll do it. So before we can get, we don't know a lot about the Incan Empire. Because they didn't like, so I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. They didn't write like it was all New World stuff. So they didn't write.
What do you mean it was all New World stuff? Writing?
So writing, right? Old world, well, like Western writing looks like this. Like Chinese writing looks like that. Like North African writing, like everywhere else in the world wrote. But these Incans, the way they figured things out is they would do really complex knots on ropes. It was
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Like
yeah, like-
when you're coming up with a language, like what a weird way to go.
Right, exactly.
How we thought about rope
Yeah,
and
yeah.
knots. Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
How'd you get to that point? You know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I don't know, you know, like there's like it's just people are so different all over. Yeah,
he tied 5 knots. He's fucking pissed.
dude, did you see the way he tied that knot? He is horny. Like,
Sex knots.
Sex
Whole different meaning.
Sex knots, right? But they also did like crazy things that like we had to reinvent hundreds of years later. Like they were able to terraform mountains and like do some really cool things farming wise.
What's
Like,
terraforming a mountain?
so like, you know, mountains are normally like slanted like this. Like these Incan guys, they figured out, hey, what if we cut into the mountain and that way we can plant shit flat. And then
Oh.
also
Oh, is that how they made pyramids?
that's been argued. The thing that I like is aliens more than actual building.
I mean, that is more fun.
Right,
It's
right.
more fanciful.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I don't like to
It
think
takes
that,
more
right.
imagination.
I don't like to think that people from the New World were able to build pyramids and like Machu Picchu without the help of aliens. So help me God.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Ancient idiots.
But they were able to terraform these mountains and like I don't know. One of the things about colonialization that like is kind of funny is like just figuring out new fruits and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
like just being like,
What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I
Oh,
do
it's-
that at the grocery store still. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
That's a
exactly.
whole fruit that exists?
yeah. Where's it from? Sumatra. What is that? Yeah.
More questions than answers.
Right. So I guess to set the story, like the Peruvians, the Inca Empire, it was set up where they had like a guy who was actually a god king, you know, like yeah, he was so
He had
yeah.
the sickest knots.
Dude, he had the most knots. The Peruvians
Looks like a beaded curtain.
the Peruvians were able to mine. The Peruvians, so it's been argued a couple of ways. The Peruvians didn't use money. So like they're
No money or writing.
yeah, no money, no writing, crazy good roads, but no animals or carts with wheels. So they didn't invent the wheel. They never
They
like
just drug shit around.
yeah, no, it was just literally dudes just working. Like they had like you know how Christians have the 10 commandments. They had they had 3 commandments, which was don't steal, don't lie, and don't be lazy. Which like,
Work, sleep, repeat.
yeah, exactly. And then looks like an one of those those inspirational quotes from like an Alpha Mare barbershop, you know.
Like a cat hanging onto a rope.
Right, exactly. Tying it there. So we didn't know a lot about these people, right? And this is 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue, landed off the Cuba coast. Then a bunch of other Spaniards start going up and down Mexico. I forgot the guy's name who conquered Mexico. His cousin's name was Francisco Pizarro. Now
Pizarro?
Yeah, Francisco Pizarro.
Oh, Pizarro.
Pizarro.
I was like
yeah.
Bizarro Columbus.
Yeah.
Like Wario, but
Yeah.
for Columbus.
Yes, that's exactly. Yeah. Francisco Pizarro gets a meeting with the King of Spain. He goes, "Hey, it's been pretty cool what y'all did to the Aztec Empire, and I know we couldn't find a lot of gold on those islands where that Italian went. You know,
Dumb fucking Italian.
yeah.
Got lost.
They're Indians. All right, cool.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to say my name wrong for all of history.
Exactly. So then Francisco Pizarro goes, what if I go a little further south?
I could try killing different people.
Yeah, exactly. What about that? You ever thought about that? And so he did. He before there was a Panama Canal, he kind of like snuck through because the Incan Empire was on the backside of these mountains, right? It was the backside of the Andes Mountains.
They terraformed them.
Yeah, they terraformed them. They were all just hanging out there, up and down the coast of Chile, into parts of Bolivia, Ecuador, Venezuela, and Colombia. Just a little poking. Like it was a bunch of natives who they didn't always speak the same language.
Didn't tie the same knots.
Didn't tie the same knots. Exactly. They didn't do a lot of these different things. But there's one guy was the sun god. However, right before Francisco,
Did they have similar sun god like all the religions believe in Jesus?
yeah. So
Is there any? anything like that?
There was one thing that I was reading about how they were like, there's this guy who's going to return from the west. Their main god left to the west and was gone, but then Pizarro and his like 195 dudes came, and so some people were like, maybe he's the god, but most people didn't think that.
Like, well, they didn't say God would have an army.
Yeah. Why does God have an army?
Weird. He has an entourage.
Yeah.
It's weird for God to need.
Right. And so Pizarro lands, and he gets like, all right, so the key to a good attack is to not have a lot of people, right? You know, like
Was this? Yeah.
Yeah, he had about 100 and I think it was 192 people.
Well, how many is he going against? Way more.
So yeah, this is an interesting fact that happened. Is there was a civil war within the Incan Empire in the years before Pizarro got there. So it was here. How do I explain this? It was how do I say this name? Altipucalca.
Probably not like
Dude,
that.
not like that at all.
I would imagine not like that.
It's ATH. Yeah. And then I can't read my cursive. God, I miss my iPad.
Why are you writing cursive? It's
why
crazy.
do I write in cursive?
It's insane. You're the only person in the world that actually uses cursive. It's fucking crazy. You're a crazy person.
I know. I don't know why I do it. And I
You really
to.
believed your third grade teacher.
I really did.
When I get to sixth grade,
I've had so many people compliment my cursive handwriting and then say they're not able to read it, and it's never gotten me pussy like I had hoped.
you had hoped.
Yeah.
I thought I'd get that Constitution pussy.
Oh, Benjamin Franklin, he has such good handwriting. I better blow him. Like, you think that happened?
Declaration ass.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, John Hancock. Show me what those hands do. Anyway, back to the Incan Empire. They had just gone through a civil war because of smallpox. So Pizarro's...
Some were for it, some were against it.
Yeah. Pizarro's...
Like, we still like the blankets.
Yeah.
They're comfortable.
Exactly.
Herd immunity.
Yeah, exactly. And then some people were saying, like, I'm not getting my shot, and then calling them sheeple. And yeah. I don't know.
Bisonal.
I think the Incan Empire, they shut down the borders with the Aztec Empire. But still, these coughs kept going.
I could see how we came from them.
Yeah.
We're not so different after all.
Right. And so once again, this is wild speculation. Just because
that's my favorite.
We can't read the rope stuff. Like,
nobody can. We've been trying to find an interpreter.
They didn't have a census for it, so it's like roughly between 7 and 80 million people died, and so you're just like
it was either a family or all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't know. But the ruler before, so then there was a civil war. Yeah. Written down in notes here too.
Ill prepared.
Yep. No. So it was Altulhalpapa. HTAHU.
You sound like you're gonna start beatboxing.
This is what Will, we do too much stuff about England.
Good.
And then,
fuck that.
Yeah. No.
You're right. I like this. This is great. Hey, you look foolish. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So this Atahualpa guy, he had just beaten his brother to become like the Sapa Inca, which means the different Inca, which was actually the rough translation, like the divine Inca.
Super Inca.
Yeah, super Inca. Yeah, whatever. Pizarro and his 192 people.
His special forces unit.
Yeah, his special forces unit. They're walking around. Atahualpa hears that, hey, there's some dudes in literally the rough translation is in shiny hats on big llamas, like
fuck yeah,
riding llamas holding sticks, which is what their guns were. They were like, I don't know, they were holding these loud sticks, and so
llamas is a weird approach.
Yeah, no, because that's something that I've got to get into for this the first battle, because this is really the only battle that they have for this first major war is the King Atahualpa comes in. The Spanish are hiding in these stone buildings just around this small town.
Smart.
Yeah, smart room. the king sends his entire army in there, so like 60,000 dudes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that have like stone knives and alpaca armor on, like fur armor on.
Llamas and alpaca, heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Llamas, alpacas. Yeah, I think and just like copper and stone tools.
They got koala.
Yeah, exactly. Like cute little like raver ears on, I guess, or something like that. They basically come in. The Spaniards send out a priest to say that you're all going to hell unless you listen to us.
Good way to negotiate.
Yeah, no, it's a solid negotiation tactic.
My God's going to kill you.
Yeah, when it's literally 80,000 troops versus 192.
Also, they're like, what's hell?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
Exactly. We have
I don't believe in Christian God, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because we've discussed this a lot on this show before. A good negotiation tactic with a group of people that already have weapons is immediately telling them that, like, you know.
You shit's stupid.
Yeah, your shit's really stupid. So then this priest tries to hand Atahualpa a Bible.
And he thinks it's a weapon, so he fucking kills him.
Right. So, and I think we as we've discussed earlier, they read with knots. They don't know what books are. All right. Like they're
like that looks like a brick you're gonna hit me with.
Right.
You know?
But yeah. So he grabs the Bible and just throws it. And he's like, I don't know what this is. Like that would be like, yeah.
Get that shit out of my face.
Right. That would be someone be like, oh, here's a shoehorn. You're like, I wear flip flops. Like, what am I gonna do with this? You know, like yeah. And then the priest grabs the Bible and is like, sacrilege, sacrilege. Everyone start firing. And so like. It's
what God would want.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't like this book. Kill them all. And yeah, and then they start murdering all of these like people. And you know, in a classic way, there were only two ways to get in and out of this big courtyard, and so everyone's trampling each other. And then there are horses, so they're
Astro-worlded them.
Yeah, yes, that is. Yeah, it was.
It's gonna be a further reference when this comes out. It'll be better.
All right,
it'll seem better.
Yes, they straight Astro-worlded them. Just imagine if there was no security. All right, everyone wanted to get in. No one could get out.
The sun god was egging them on.
And meanwhile, Jesus made a jerk-off motion, and then, yeah.
Anyway, now the merch is more expensive.
One cannon, just laying into things. They ran out of bullets, but they were still using steel swords, and like, you know, it was just an absolute slaughter. I think like 3 Spanish people died, and like.
And they just slipped and fell on their swords. All the blood made me slip.
Yeah, exactly. It was just Henny Youngman music playing from Oh no, I died because I got
Mr.
crushed
Bean
under
themselves?
bodies. Yeah. But they were actually able to capture Atahualpa, so the head of the Incan Empire. By that time, and the head of the Incan Empire, he realized that these Spanish people were losing their shit for gold, like the Spanish,
they really like that rock.
Yeah. Like you really like our trinkets for some reason. Like why do you care about this so much? And then because once again the Incans, they had an amazing mining facility, even though it was weird how they didn't invent everything all the same.
Maybe they did. We just can't read the knots.
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe they did.
It's all buried.
Right.
There's just computers.
Well, and then the thing is, the issue is now is Atahualpa. He goes, hey, if y'all let me go, I can fill this room full of gold and twice as much silver. And the Spanish is like,
all right, I'm greedy.
Exactly. So
this couldn't possibly be a trick.
No, it definitely was. It was so the leader of the Incan Empire, he gets everyone to bring all of their gold trinkets. most of Incan trinkets are melted down into like doubloons, you know, like into Spanish ingots actually, and all the silver.
They had the plates there to do that? That's amazing.
Well, you can just melt them with high heat, yeah, and then you have the plates. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I should look that up. Yeah, no, I bet they wanted to.
Fuck? You just had these on hand?
The Spanish,
they're like,
definitely.
we've been counterfeiting a lot.
The Spanish were like, yeah, oh, your shiny stuff, we're going to be able to turn that into this right now. But no, they melted it down into big bricks so that I think, could get sent back to Spain. And it was all split up between the initial conquistadors and the King of Spain. That's how they
So it wasn't a trick. They just gave them a bunch of gold.
Oh, no, but it gets better. Yeah, no, because they took the gold, they took the silver, and then they ended up murdering him.
Of course. Fucking course they did. I thought they were going to, like, drown him in gold. Like, here's all your gold. Get it? Now you're drowning it, you fucking assholes. We crush you with gold. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, no, they murdered him almost immediately. The same priest that came up to...
stabbed him right with his crucifix.
The same priest that came up... early, like the same priest that got his, Bible thrown, he comes up, he goes, you're going to need to get baptized right now.
Wouldn't want you going to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, we're going to burn you alive. And I know you're supposed to be like a descendant of the sun god or whatever. It would be uncouth if we burned you alive.
At least they were trying to be, they're trying to be cool about it.
Yeah, they
right?
tried to be super cool about it. Luckily, they got a bunch of other, the Spanish got a bunch of local tribes to try to throw off the Incan yoke, and then the empire fell apart and was under Spanish rule until like the 19th century.
Damn, lost heart. And the Incan Empire sounds so cool.
Yeah,
empire too. That's the way to go. No, this is conquistador Spain.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Inca Empire. That sounds like they would have won.
They had the numbers.
It sounds like. I just think of pastel paint for some reason. I think I just think this is elementary bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. You're like they were hunter gatherers. They liked fishing. And
poor Incas.
Poor Incas.
What happened to their mountains?
The Machu Picchu. So they were mined for a really long time for gold and silver by the Spanish. Yeah, I forgot which pope did it, but split up Brazil from the rest of South America.
Just a pope.
Yeah,
just like, hey, that land's a different country now. Like, what?
Like,
yeah.
The Portuguese and the Spanish were like, we want to do these different things, and the Pope was like, I got this.
Imagine if the Pope now was like, Rhode Island belongs to Italy. Be like, shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, you fucking old asshole? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Hey guys. Why don't y'all stop fighting over there in Afghanistan?
Now we're both gonna fight you. Shut the fuck up. How dare you?
Yeah. Exactly. So the mountains, I think they're still mined pretty much. Like you look at modern Chile, a lot of their infrastructure is mining based. I know, I guess Caracas is still a big town in Peru.
I was about to ask. Where that
Machu
was.
Picchu. Machu Picchu's in Peru. So there's still a lot of cool stuff there. Pan flutes and guinea pigs and stuff. I
don't think that's what they would go to.
No,
You're like, what's cool? They're like, pan flutes, guinea pig, other stupid shit. The only things you've heard of from my country, asshole.
Exactly. The terraforming stuff was really cool. I guess it's like terraform mountain stuff. They still do that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's like clear winners. Sometimes it's not. It's like, no, they're just gone.
Exactly.
They don't exist anymore. So
when you start talking about the 19th century stuff is like when you, because we discussed that a couple of weeks ago too with Santa Anna, and they're different classes where they're the people who were clearly in the Incan Empire are definitely still farmers.
Yeah.
Whereas the guys who are up closer to the top of government definitely have blonder hair and bluer eyes, even though they're from Spain, like that sort of thing.
Yeah. Weird how that always works.
Weird how that works.
Like it's planned.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
That's a rough one.
The victors, the fucking conquistadors, the laugh. What would you call them? The laugh-eastadors?
The laugh-eastadors. Yeah, every Sunday, 5 p.m. show.
Every other day, it's a matinee.
Yeah, it's a matinee.
No one comes. We've got popcorn. It's old.
Dude, the chubby girlfriend comes for the one guy in the group.
She's gonna be dating another guy in the group in 2 weeks.
Oh no!
People have to pick sides.
People have to pick sides.
All right, I think that's it. Yeah.
I think that's good.
Incan Empire lost.
Yes, they
Sounds
did.
the coolest, but they lost.
Mm-hmm. It's frustrating.
Yep. All right.
Uh-huh.
German woman. What's next?
Yeah.
Hat word of the day. This is the hat word of the day.
Welcome to the hat word of the day. Thank you, Miss German Lady.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. This is where we get a word from our favorite sponsors.
Oh my God, the
of all
best.
time. Yeah,
Wow.
the village.
Sponsor strong.
Yeah.
Our favorite place.
Yeah, exactly. The sponsor's a strong term. They haven't paid us at all.
No,
The
they don't know about it.
The Village Hat Shop of San Diego since 1980.
Since 1980, that's a long
Yeah, that
time.
is a long-
It seemed like 1980 seems like it's more recent than it was. It's not.
No, it's
actually like,
super long ago.
a lot of years.
It is
60
close
years.
to. It is closer to 1960 than it is to 2020.
Yeah.
That's
so
just math.
That's how long
Yeah.
the fucking hat shop in San Diego
has been chugging.
has been putting smiles on faces.
Yeah, they were there and they were like, I don't know about this Reagan guy, and then they kept making.
They
hats.
stuck it out. They stuck it out. they trickled down into the community.
Down into the community. Well, the Village Hat Shop just came out with a new article,
Oh, what is it?
the history of the beret. So
Are
I
you
know
telling
you know
me about a thing that exists that we know about already?
Well, you know about a beret, but
Yeah.
you don't know the history of the
okay,
beret.
good. Hit me with it.
So, all right, what do you think a beret is?
A little French thing.
Yeah,
and,
a little fancy
painters
French
and-
hat. No, sir. We art historians and historians across time have been known about the beret since way before Jesus. Like it was found in Italy
Really?
first. Yeah, dude. All right, so the beret was only.
You telling me Jesus may have worn a beret?
I don't think I can.
All right, well, Jesus wore a beret.
Yeah, dude.
We're saying that?
Yeah.
Jesus wore a beret.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is what I am
You
claiming
heard that
right
here
now.
first.
That is what I'm claiming. No, in
Spread that. Tell people.
northern Italy, there were a bunch of berets, and then a bunch of farmers in Spain started using berets for a long time. They slowly got adopted further north. The first time the French started using a beret was in the 19th century as a little military-style floppy hat.
So they just like Hitler did with the mustache.
Yeah,
They just took over the beret. It's just
they're like, no. You Spaniards and you Italians, it's not yours anymore. Even though
they
you've
have
been
with the
wearing
little
them in the
tail or
farm.
whatever.
Yeah, but yeah. So the history of the beret actually goes on way longer than you think, and I just think that's a fascinating thing. That now it's cool. Like I'm a communist girl, and then but it used to be like a redneck farmer hat,
So the actual workers.
Yeah, it was actual workers. wore that hat.
I'm a communist.
Yeah, exactly.
In her mansion.
Yeah, exactly. I want to seize the means of production. Do you?
Dad, can you give them the means of production? You own all the means of production.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was a fun read, and the Village Hat Shop came out with that.
And now
Yeah.
we learned that Jesus wore a beret.
Beret, yeah.
Jesus wore a beret.
Mark it down.
Okay.
That's our hat word.
Hat word of the day, brought to you, of course,
by the Village Hat
Shop
Shop
of San Diego since 1980. Thank you.
Watch out, here they come, and they're coming fast. It's time for silly facts from the past. Silly facts from the past.
All right, this is Silly Facts from the Past. This is Silly Facts from the time period that we're talking about. What you got, Will?
A couple of things. So while Francisco Pizarro was conquering those poor people over in the Incan Empire,
a way cooler name.
yeah, on July 11th of 1533, Henry VIII got excommunicated by the Pope. That was when he was running trains on bitches because he really wanted he wanted a male heir. So yeah, he got.
I don't know how running trains on bitches is going to help him get a male heir.
Well, he was
the sole car in this train.
Right. He was not running train. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He was just fucking lots of hoes.
Yeah, and then cutting their heads off.
Yeah, and then the Pope was like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Enough.
Yeah.
The first 7 times, sure, I understand.
Right. Yeah, and over in over in Flanders, William the First of Orange was born.
What is Flanders?
It's Belgium area.
Nice.
Yeah, he ends up becoming the king of England just due to the way that.
This Belgian guy?
Yeah, this Belgian guy became the king of England because everyone hated Henry VIII.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, that's
We've
a fun
had
one.
quite
Yeah.
enough of that. Let's try
Yeah.
a guy from somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, bud,
We're
can
terrible.
you not speak English? Good. Just let Parliament.
Still
do
white,
its-
though.
Still
Okay,
white. All right. Those are our two facts. I couldn't find a third one. I always try
You
to find.
couldn't find a third fact.
I
Don't
couldn't-
look it up now. Just
Yeah.
in the future,
Yeah, find a third fact.
be better.
Yeah. Cool. There we go.
All right. I was gonna say them's the facts, but we can't end everyone. It's too lame. Those are
the facts.
the facts of the day.
Yeah.
And now it's time for
Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Leave it.
This is where we make fun of hats.
And welcome back to Silly Hats. Thank you so much, Mr. British Man. We are now in a fun segment that I like to call, that actually Nick made up, Lit Bits, where we get a bunch of comics to come in and roast the hats that we've been talking about. We have two of my favorite comics on today. We've got Enrique Chacon.
What's up, man?
Chillin'. And we've got English Matt.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello. Before we get started, I just before I moved to Houston, I was at Rudyard's one night, and I had never heard a British person do comedy live.
And after that, he still had it.
Still think he's faking it.
You were doing a bit about how you felt like America was your adopted home, and then you tried ranch dressing, and you said, "No, this is not my home."
Also, Trey, who's been on the podcast, doesn't believe his accent's real.
Okay, I just want to clarify a little bit on that because Trey doesn't believe that any accents
Yes.
are real. It's not that he thinks I'm faking. He thinks everyone in the world is faking.
He thinks countries get together and make up the accents
To
they're
mess
all
with
going to use.
Fucking.
Yeah, he thinks people are
What a
born
guy.
sounding like Trey. Everybody else makes a decision.
And the first time I saw Enrique, it was right after I'd moved back to Houston, and everyone was like, "Yo, this guy's really good." And I was like, "All right, let's see what's up." He goes, "What's up, motherfuckers?" I was like, "Oh,
Man.
it's fantastic."
Oh, yeah.
I
High
gotta point
energy.
out, I feel like English Matt and I, we have like completely levels of education, dude. I look at you and I'm like, damn, bro, that's private school.
Is that
Look
a
at his-
sweater?
I was about to say, look at his
Cardigan.
sweater.
They
You can't
call
wear that and not know things.
Chest hair, dude, beard. Fuck you, man.
But yeah, so today we were talking about the fall of the Incan Empire and their fall to the conquistadors of Spain. It was rough.
Yeah, not the happiest.
Smallpox.
None of our episodes cover anything happy. They're all conflicts.
That's history.
You want to
Peoples
make
who
fun
had-
of death and murder?
Two peoples who had never met before got along great. So right up here we have a traditional Incan garb, and Enrique coming in with his book, which I love.
Wow, I love that too.
Man, this motherfucker right here, I call them the Inca boys, dog. I had to make an enemy of my head. Look at the Inca boy right here, dude. His head's looking like the ultimate nachos at Buffalo Wild Wings, bro. Eat that shit right up, baby. Damn.
I think it's a great look. I like it because it's both very stylish and it's practical because you can dust any low-hanging light fixtures.
Yeah, it's like a Roomba.
It's a Roomba for your ceiling.
There you go.
Shit, man. His
good
Inca, this boy's Inca head looks like a peacock fucked a whole coop of roosters, dog. Fucking, what a whore, dog.
A whore ass hat.
That's a similar garb there.
That is a similar look to that guy. I don't know. I feel like these must have been very special occasion wears.
Yeah, this is
I
this
feel
your
like this is-
everyday dress?
We can't be, like if you would imagine like 700 years in the future, there's a guy looking at like, I don't know, the Met Gala and being like, yep, they dress like that every day.
Grocery stores, whatever.
What a bunch of weirdos. Like, no, this is an impressive, this is his display.
They're worshiping one of the three main gods in the Incan pantheon. Yeah. That is. What do you think? What do you think the leggings of the Incas were? You know, like if
This looks like Incan Carnival.
Yeah, this was definitely a special occasion kind of thing.
This Mardi Gras right there, dog.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Bro, this motherfucker's Inca hat right here. It looks like something you make out of rehab. You know what I'm saying? to heal, but you just gotta bring the feathers together and get spiritual with this shit. The gold, that's the new spirit. Your gold, dog.
And then the rehab sells them.
This is Jimmy's. Jimmy, 20, 25 crack pipes and counting.
the blue feather represents the lack of hugs your dad gave you.
Purple, he was touched.
I like them. I like it as a whole because I think it's not very often you get to wear an outfit that makes a macaw say, little much. It's a good feeling to be able to stunt on the Bird Kingdom for once in our lives.
Stunting on peacocks.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, so
My feathers are always out.
those are the Incas. I think we're moving into the sweet. Yeah, this is just a
right.
fun drawing of what
something horrible happening.
A really bloody court reporter.
So I did a tiny, minimal bit of research on
Yeah.
this, and I found out that the name for those conquistador helmets is Morillon, which is great
Morillon.
because it sounds like a Spanish guy trying to remember the English word for what his friend looks like wearing that helmet. He's like, tú pareces como una, ¿cómo se dice? Morillon. Yeah. He's just, that's really what he's going for with that.
the conquistador hats were always super funny. All right, so
Well, and their name's silly. Conquistadors. That it's a silly.
I think what's kind of really apparent, especially when you see them together in the pictures, is just the vast difference in swag levels between the two.
Oh yeah.
And if I were one of the Incas, I'd be very pissed that this is who I was matched up with. Be like, they didn't even make an effort. We've
I'm
got
going to war in capes.
Yeah, we've got full-on feather headdresses and capes, and they bought what appears to
We
be
don't need that extra shit.
some sort of roasting pan. that they're wearing.
We have a costume change.
Hey, can we zoom in?
Yeah. Zoom in, dude. Yeah.
Like, this is the Morillon, right? This
No, that's
the Morillon's the kind of metal helmet.
the metal one right there. So I think we have a picture of that right after. No, that's just.
There we go.
that's
There
That's
we
a
go, yeah.
Monty Python hat. The one he was hitting when he was.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing I
don't
don't
know.
really understand about the helmet design is it's got this sort of fin going down
Yeah.
the middle of it.
Is it
I ima-
aerodynamic?
Yeah, well, I imagine that's it. It's to cut down on wind resistance. They're like, well, we got a lot of genocides to get to today. We anything that can speed us up along the way.
Only,
go to hell.
only so many days and so many people.
Yeah, so many people's to wipe out. We got to really cut down our wind resistance.
Fuck it, that Inca hat right there. That Inca hat right there looks like white people dreadlocks, bro. This fucking goofy island boy. Get the fuck out of here, dog, with that shit.
The island boy.
So
Or the non-existent island boy.
But also, you can see the kind of the obviously the conquistador leaders there. They've painted them. They've drawn them with a much. They don't have their helmet on. They've just got like a fancy hat, but it's so much less fancy than the Incas. This is like when you're like, I think I've dressed up for the occasion,
Yeah.
and then your friend's like in a full-on three-piece.
Yeah. Oh wow. I don't have.
Yeah.
Oof.
You're
I
like,
don't even have nice
Yeah,
clothes.
this is- yeah, he must have felt like.
Yeah, he thinks he's the shit because his hat's velvet. You've
So-
never met an Incan.
a fun thing that the conquistadors did all over Central and South America was they would just lie to the people that they would see. They were like, "Hey, I've got it." They would say they had a couple of their traveling companions were sick, and the only thing that could cure them was gold. And they were like,
Wow.
"Do you have any gold?" And like, they would go. I mean, I guess, yeah, but how's that gonna help their heart?
Trust me, it's weird. He's weird. He's a rock guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Heels,
think
heels,
that,
dude. You
that
don't
does
know?
show you that people will believe literally anything about white people. It's just like that. White people are so off to everything else in the world that you're just like, we eat gold. It's the only thing that helps us. And they're like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
They're weird looking.
Yeah.
They're pale like a salamander. I'm
Like a salamander.
I'm sure that's true that they eat gold.
Cool. 1 second. I think I have one more. Do we have? Nope. That was it.
Let me submit it to these.
Yeah,
these
yeah, there you go.
Morillon helmets, bro.
Yeah.
Look at my man looking like a fresh circumcision, dog. Out here, you know what I'm saying? That shit looks like something expensive at a Marshall's, but decently priced at a TJ Maxx. You know what I'm saying? Look at that little Spaniard butt plug right there, bro. Fucking these silly conquistadors, bro. I'm talking about. That looks like my pan went through domestic abuse, bro.
They're in South America too. I imagine a hat made out of solid metal's got to get a little warm. You're not really dressing for the environment.
Once you put it on, you're not taking it off till the sun sets.
I bet, well, probably that may that's an idea. You put a little oxtail up there. At the end of the day, you've got dinner ready.
You can cook an egg up there, man.
Yeah.
It's a 2-in-1.
I don't know. That kind of
Tired
looks
after
like.
the battle, you're like, dinner's already taken care of, fellas.
We carry our ovens with us.
Now we just have a little side dish of gold with this. Perfect. That's what we eat.
Perfect. Oh, that has been Lit Bits.
That was very fun. Y'all
are
were
the best one
fantastic.
so
That was
far.
super fun, guys. Thank
Guys,
you.
where can we find y'all on social media?
Man, thank
go
you.
ahead, Enrique.
Thank you. That's
Aw,
the,
so
the
polite.
British in you. That's
I
so
know.
polite right now. You can find me at Enrique Comedy on everything. ENRIQUE Comedy, man. Thank you so much for inviting me, bro. This is awesome, dude.
Hell yeah, you did
Yeah, it was
great,
a
bud.
pleasure to be here. You can get me on Twitter at Pulp Pit, and I'm on Instagram at English Matt Donovan.
There you
Nice.
go. Perfect.
Thank you,
guys so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome, bro.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
And now it's time for our shout-outs. Shout-outs to teachers in the past. Shout-outs to different people. Who do you want to shout out today?
I actually have a teacher. I
There
don't,
you go.
as always, don't remember their name. And this was even worse because this was in college. So
Yeah,
if
there you go.
anyone, but
Yeah.
no, it was my speech teacher. I had to take the speech class,
Mm-hmm.
and I hated public speaking.
Yeah.
And I actually could do it in that class because
Yeah.
she just she knew I was into politics, so she just give me like political shit, like.
And you'd be like,
and
and
like,
another
okay, I
guy-
can talk. Bah, 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 bah. Anything
Yeah.
else, I just say and
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
shout out
that's
to her.
cool.
I'm sure she's doing great.
Awesome. Shout out to Pastor David of the Pentecostal Church of Aberdeen, Mississippi, for
Hell yeah.
letting me go to lock-ins. And that's where I first started doing stand-up comedy and reading the Bible at the same time. You know, because you're just sitting there bored with the Bible.
Was this an open mic lock-in?
Dude, it was, yeah, I was
You have to stay for everybody.
Exactly. No, I was just trying to finger fuck chicks from Aberdeen, you know, and then I was like, you know, like let's learn about this, you know, like I made a joke about how I don't like Catholics because they make me work out during their sermons, and he was like, hey, that was funny because they stand up and sit down a lot
Yeah,
more.
we do. Also, riddle us with guilt. I'd take the sitting and standing if they
Yeah.
just didn't tell me everything's my fault always. I already have mental illness. That doesn't help,
that doesn't,
fellas.
that doesn't help. No. He also, I remember one time, my middle school dog had just died, and I go, "Hey, do dogs go to heaven?" He goes, "We're actually going to talk about that today." And he did a fire and brimstone
Weirdly,
service.
I killed your dog.
Yeah. He did a fire and brimstone service of just how like dogs don't go to heaven because dogs don't have souls.
Holy
And then,
shit.
Yeah.
And he's actually, that's funny ass. We're gonna address that today. Your dumb dog's going to hell.
Yeah, and so, you know, just funny memories that I think build a person, you know.
And this is why we're here, Pastor Dave.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this.
He faked a heart attack one time.
What?
What? Yeah, he faked a heart attack one time when my granddad tried to fire him. My granddad was a deacon, and he goes like, "All right, I gotta fire Pastor David," and he goes, and so they took him to the hospital in Ambry.
What a coward. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
what a
that's
cool dude.
so that's cartoonish.
Yeah.
That, that was literally on an episode of King of the Hill.
Yeah, it was definitely. All right, I think that's it for the show. Nick, where can we find you?
Well, first off, you can follow us on everything. Go to sillyhatspodcast.com. Follow Silly Hats Podcast on everything. Subscribe. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, all of the major platforms, not the
Right.
ones your friend just started.
Right.
If they get viable, we'll be on there too.
Exactly.
Until then, the regular ones. And yeah, you can find me personally at Nick Hates People everywhere and nickhatespeople.com. And yeah, tell everybody about this show.
Yeah, tell everyone about it. Shout out to the Whiskey Brothers Podcast Network for letting us do all of this here. Big shout out to Slade Ham producing everything and Trey
Yeah.
Tutson on the ones and twos. You can find me at Will_Loden on Instagram, and gunsandliquor.com is where you can find all my dates.
And this is the first season. I don't think we've mentioned we're doing season. This is the first season of Silly Hats.
I think they'll be able to tell if they watch the video component as to how my hair's gotten longer and then my mustaches have gotten shorter.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah. So
It's very true.
Or we're just going to do a couple out of order. Just 'cause,
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have brought it up. I'll edit that part out.
No, it'll be fun.
No,
fun,
I'm going to
fun.
leave it in.
You're going to leave in so many things.
I'm going to leave it so much.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Listen, and please subscribe and tell people we love you.
Perfect. Bye.
That concludes this episode of Silly Hats. Thank you for tuning into our program. Created by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Hosted by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Researched by Will Loden. Audio and video editing by Nick Palermo. Video recording and additional video support, Slade Ham and Jerry Wayne Longmire. Brought to you by the Whiskey Brothers Network. Recorded at the Whiskey Brothers Studio. Featuring comedians English Matt and Enrique Chacon. Special thanks to the Houston Public Library and the Village Hat Shop of San Diego, California since 1980. Follow Silly Hats Podcast on all forms of social media at Silly Hats Podcast. For a full bibliography, follow us on Instagram. We'd like to especially thank the Whiskey Brothers for their support. Drink up, chaps.